I think that the regional lingo is pretty funny as well.
Yeah.
Like the West Coast has all the subtleties, but I noticed that a lot of people use the word John as just like, a general, just like noun. Like
John?
John, like Jawn or something like that.
Jawn.
I guess so, yeah.
And they just use it
as like, oh, look at that John over there. it's a real strange phenomenon. But
weird.
Yeah.
Oh.
Haven't quite figured it out. My largest passion in life is definitely whitewater kayaking. And I think for a lot of people, whitewater kayaking seems objectively crazy. Especially a lot of the stuff that I enjoy doing is like what's considered expedition whitewater kayaking, and it kind of requires you to kind of put yourself in more remote locations and crazier landscapes. And I think that most people think that you always are just like risking death at every turn, and you're crazy, but really it's much more like calculated and much more thought out, and much more of a process. It's kind of almost a science to some degree, but it's on a much more personal level. There's this quote that I really like from an author. He writes a lot about whitewater, and he says, if somebody's searching for the physical manifestation of honesty, they should kayak a hard whitewater river. And I think that really speaks to the nature of the sport, where it's not something that you can objectively measure as far as like skill or accomplishments or anything, but it's much more like personal endeavor where you're making decisions for yourself and making sure that like you're being true to yourself and your own ability. And I really enjoy that a lot.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Who's the quote by? What's the author's name?
Doug Ammons.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a really prolific whitewater writer.
A really prolific white power writer?
Whitewater writer. Yeah.
Once again, we welcome all ears to this week's episode of Student of Life, the game show.
So that was another continuation of conversation on a 19-minute plane ride from Charlotte to Asheville. We'll be back with them later, Johnny and Bernie. And next up, this is a friend I met sitting next to me at a coffee shop in West Asheville.
Okay. Tarot cards are not only about telling your fortune.
They're not.
No. A lot of people, there's different types of tarot card readers, and so a lot of people use tarot cards as a type of counseling, as a way to expand your thoughts on whatever issue you're going through. Instead of just saying, oh, you're going to meet somebody in 6 months, they will use the tarot cards to get really in depth on where are you at now, why do you want to meet somebody, how can you improve as a person to bring that about.
So it's almost like they figure out these things that you might be having issues with, and then it becomes a therapy session.
Yeah, it's almost, they're taking it to almost tarot life coaching. Yeah.
Now, do you do that?
I don't do any of that. I use tarot to figure out, well, I do both of it. I use tarot to figure out what areas I need to be looking at, what do I need to be warned about, sometimes what's coming up, and sometimes, what's in my subconscious that I'm not dealing with. My ex-husband and I had separated, and we separated, one of the times we separated, due to his drinking. And so I was scared that he was also doing drugs, but I was trying to punish him for drinking, so I didn't want to call him and have contact.
Okay.
So I just, I went over there, and I used my credit card and a knife to break into his front door, and then I went through his garbage to see if I saw anything drug related, and then I locked it up and went out the back window.
So, did you find anything?
Well, I saw ashes. I saw a lot of ashes. Don't know if that meant if he is
Weed or just cigarettes?
crack.
Oh,
Smoking crack, or if he was just smoking cigarettes, because he doesn't really sleep when he's drinking. So
it wasn't, you didn't
so
get...
I went through the trash and I found ashes, and I didn't know if that was just from him smoking or if that was from him doing crack. So then I had to call a friend of mine and try to get some feedback, and we discussed it, and she wasn't 100% sure either. I was looking for some other paraphernalia, I didn't see any, so I just locked everything up and went out the back window.
And here's where I before said, well, you didn't do anything really wrong because you were just, you were put in a situation, and you just were looking, you were doing your due diligence. You didn't do anything wrong. And
that's when I said you're enabling, and that is not the truth. The truth is a violation of privacy. It's a violation of his autonomy. It's breaking and entering, which is illegal. And it was not the right thing to do, which I knew at the time and just did not care.
And you had your adrenaline running when you were opening that door.
Yeah.
You'd never done anything like that before?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, you have?
That's how I knew how to do it.
Oh, okay. Do you want to talk about that?
No.
Take it that's when you were younger?
Yeah. We don't go there.
Everyone does dumb stuff when they're young. So, well, I'm glad you're out of that situation. And that you know, I mean, I guess you think you did wrong, and it sounds like you learned from it, even though I still think you didn't do I think you're being hard on yourself.
No, I haven't learned from it. I would do it again if I had to.
Because you were still married, and you needed to know whether or not, this guy was so far out there that it could, that you did not need to be in that situation, or if he was just drinking and needed help. I guess either way he needed help.
Right.
Did he get us help?
I don't think it had anything to do with me being married.
It was just him.
Because I would do it for boyfriend. It had more to do with people in active addiction lie.
Right.
And if I'm invested, which I was, and if I am on hold waiting for you to get your life together, then I need to know what's going on. And he would not have told me, boyfriend or husband, he would not have told me.
And now back to Johnny and Bernie about outdoor sports on a 19-minute plane ride from Charlotte to Asheville.
Splitty.
Okay.
I've said that word so many times this trip. A splitty.
What does it mean?
A splitty is a crack in a rock that is, it's called it's short, splitty is short for splitter. And splitter is like a splitter crack that's like it's just a crack in the rock that splits like two rock faces. And it's typically defined by awesomefingerjams or hand jams. And so like I'd be like halfway up the route and I'd be like, dude, Gray, this route is so splitty. Or it can also be used to describe anything that's good. Like sometimes you like.
So it started off with that because it was so good for rock climbing. Then you morphed it into like, now let's just use it for anything good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like you'd wake up in the morning and like Gray would peek out the window and be like, dude, the weather's splitty. Splitty.
Yeah, there's a lot of lingo in the whitewater language that gets morphed into that type of, like church, for example, has been used for the, like, totally taken out of like its original context and used as just like an adjective for like pretty much all things good. Like if something's cool or awesome, it's church.
And you were about to say the origin of it, though.
Like the church, like like your traditional like church, like it's far removed from that context, but at the same time, it like retains a little bit of the meaning, I guess, where it's like, oh, this is like spiritual. But yeah, I feel like outdoor communities always have a knack for developing the wildest lingo.
I like this interview because it's going back and forth between, you know, you both are so passionate, but about slightly different things. But
that pair together quite well.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of climbers, like a lot of people want you to. You probably whitewater rafted.
Where the rock's wet, you know.
Yeah. That's the thing. In the summertime, it's like so goddamn humid. Yeah. And it's like, hit the water, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's too hard sometimes to rock climb, huh?
Yeah. It's just like it's not. It's like
friction-dependent sports.
Yeah. It's just like painfully hot.
And then, is it like maybe in the winter is not a good time to whitewater raft?
Well, it just needs
and then you climb?
In a place like the southeast, it needs to rain. So you need it to rain in order to go kayaking. So as long as it's not raining, then it's a good climbing weather. But as soon as it rains, then it's time to go paddling.
And then there's places like the New River Gorge.
You do both.
Like the Golly.
Or
like,
Linville.
Yeah. It's just like 2 peas in a pod.
This is wonderful. Yeah.
I just hike, but some of the hikes, it winds up being, there's climbing elements, you know. And it's strategic too. I'm like, man, this is fun.
Yeah.
I could see how people really get into this.
Absolutely.
And then the same thing with the rafting. Like I've done a little bit, and it's amazing. Like and how you're moving constantly, you know. So you're like seeing new views, not
Like finding the line down the river.
Harnessed by this energy.
It might be my 2 favorite things. I'm not like I don't really do that often, but like would love to. Like I can understand how both you have awesome things that you're into. Very cool.
That's whatever drives you.
And they're also like, I like them because they're both, well, they both can be fast, but it's not like some like mountain biking or there's some things where it's just too intense, where it's like you don't have time. It's not like chill, you know. Like these things is like, if you're smart about it, you train correctly, it's not too fast. It's like, you know,
You want to stay as collected as possible.
Yeah. Exactly. And they both allow you, because of that pace, they both allow you to truly enjoy the nature that you're out about.
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest part, is like getting to move through a landscape.
Is now closed.
That's my favorite part of
Please
like
stow
all
laptop
those
computers
sports.
under the seat in front of you, or in an
And I just
overhead
hike and I get to do that, but
Small
those
handheld
two,
electronic devices may be
you get a little
used
bit
in
more of it.
airplane mode.
Yeah,
It's pretty awesome.
stuff. I mean, just getting outside is cool. Really. Like, in any way, it's whatever makes you tick. Really.
For sure. We happen to live in a great area. But you both went to, you just both visited great areas. You said you crushed it?
Crushed it.
Yeah.
Would you like Jones and want to go back right now?
That'd be nice.
You as well?
No.
You're ready for a break?
It was a sufferfest.
It was what?
Your safety is
my trip was
important
a little bit of a
Please
sufferfest.
pause for a moment. Give your attention to the
what's the
fire
word?
engine.
Sufferfest?
Luggage and
What's that?
personal articles should be stowed either
It was just
overhead
like trying at every turn,
To prepare for
hard,
departure,
physically
close your
and
tray
mentally.
table and place your
I'm ready to
seat in the
like go to
upright
class.
position.
Yeah, I noticed you got some injuries,
If you
huh?
haven't already fastened
Both of
your
y'all do, huh?
insert the metal fitting into the
I'd have to
buckle
tape that up
and pull the
inside.
strap so it's tight across your hips. To open your
hands get
seatbelt,
so
lift the
red.
top of the buckle. Keep your seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign is on. And just in case there's turbulence, keep it on whenever you are in your seat. Federal aviation regulations require compliance with all lighted signs, posted placards, and crew instructions. All flights are non-smoking. Smoking is not permitted at any time in any area of the aircraft, including the lavatory. It is against federal law to tamper with,
I love how it used to be,
disable, or destroy
you
the
used to be able to
lavatory
smoke
smoke
cigarettes in
detectors.
planes, but they'd have
The
like,
safety card in your seat
like
pocket
a
explains
section.
the safety
It used to be
features
where
of this
then
airplane,
they were like,
including the location
only
and
a
operation
section
of
in the
exits
back of the
and
plane.
flotation devices.
Like that was gonna change for
This
everyone else.
airplane
Like
has
everyone else is gonna
door
be fine
exits in
because
the front
you're one row
and
in front of the
four window
section,
exits
and
over
you're
the
like,
wings.
of course
All
I'm smoking.
exits are clearly marked with signs and opening instructions. If
I remember,
needed,
I mean,
exit
when I was a little
path
kid, I was on
lighting
some
will
flights with
illuminate near
smoking.
the floor to guide you to an exit
Yeah.
indicated by signs and
And
lights. Keep in mind
like,
the
I
closest
mean, they
exit
still
may
have
be
the-
behind you.
Like,
In
no
the event
planes
of an
allow smoking,
emergency,
but they still
leave
have
all
that
belongings
sign.
and proceed to the
They used to
closest
be.
usable
That's
exit.
bad. Yeah.
Your seat
I think it would
cushion
be
serves
like
as an approved flotation
like
device.
there'd be smoking.
To remove it, pull
like,
up and take it with you to the nearest
There'd be
usable
times
exit.
when you weren't allowed
After
to smoke.
exiting the
So they
aircraft,
pop that sign
place
up,
your
like,
arms
you
through
can't
the
smoke your
straps
cigarette right
and then
now
hug the cushion
because
to
we're
your
taking
chest.
off right now. But when we're up in the air, go for it.
Oxygen masks will drop from an overhead compartment. Remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and pull the mask down to start the flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your nose and mouth and put the elastic band over your head. Pull the straps to tighten and breathe normally. Put on your mask before helping others. Oxygen is flowing even if the bag doesn't inflate. The cabin lights will be dimmed before takeoff. Individual reading controls are overhead. Thank you for your attention. Enjoy your flight.
I'm trying to get into it. It's just expensive.
It is, yeah. It's the initial investment is what, yeah.
But it's just like
Climbing's expensive. Is that what you're saying?
trap
Yeah.
climbing.
Yeah, there's just a lot of gear you have to buy.
So you got to connect all the ropes and the connections and the
Yeah.
harnesses.
Exactly.
And then
There's a lot of little pieces.
you put down the pad.
Yeah.
Would you use the pad too? Do people?
That's
For certain types,
Yeah,
for sure.
that's for like bouldering.
Okay, so that's not what you're talking about. That wouldn't be part of your gear.
No,
Not necessarily.
It's more like the major expenses are really like your rope and your protection devices, which are like these things called most commonly used is like a spring-loaded camping unit. It's like a little trigger device that you can retract and put in a crack, and then it expands.
Oh, cool. And that's the price.
Yeah, and you usually you try and find like a little restriction to like put it behind, so it's like in there
Secure.
you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then as you pull down on it, it like forces like those lobes like push out more. So like the harder you pull down on it, actually the stronger its staying force.
Oh, that's
is.
cool. That's a cool device.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
for like
they were like pretty revolutionary.
Yeah.
It's
How
a-
long? How old is how long they've been around?
Probably like 20, 30 years.
Sweet.
And like it was actually kind of funny because actually like getting into climbing was just like kind of interesting to me just because the history is so rich.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the same with boating.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
like there's a lot of like back in the day when spring-loaded camping units were first coming out, like it was almost like an ethical concern whether it was like legit to use or not. Like people were like,
Because it was like cheating.
yeah.
I love that about climbing is that they always consider like everything kind of like cheating.
So there's like I have a friend, he's like kind of my like trad climbing mentor guy. Like he's like my like father figure in climbing. He's like 38, so he's like still crushing, you know. And he like has a book where it's like talking shit about these spring-loaded camping units and how they're like
What do they
not
call?
legit.
What do they call them? Like in baseball, traditionalists.
Yeah. It's purists, yeah.
Purists. Yeah.
It's wild in like countries like the Czech Republic, they have such strict ethics about their climbing that they won't even let them use like metal protection.
Oh, really?
In
Do
rocks.
they think like it might hurt the rocks? Like,
Yeah,
is that part of
well,
their reasoning?
I think they think that it damages the aesthetic experience for other climbers, and that's the idea. So they can't even use chalk. So they're using like these knotted up ropes that they will put in the cracks and stuff to like
Jeez.
catch them when they fall, which is really wild. really
They need to get
wild.
with the program. It sounds like they're not being smart about their traditionalist ways. in
I
certain aspects.
think those nuts are bomber though.
Yeah, dude.
Like they're actually surprisingly good.
You just
Like,
gotta know what you're doing.
Yeah. And it makes your rack like super light because all you're carrying around is a bunch of little ropes.
Yeah.
I've heard like there's like also like barefoot climbing is a thing out there. Like climbing without
That's
shoes. And,
Right.
like, that was another like revolutionary period in climbing. Was like the creation of sticky rubber.
Yeah.
But like there's a lot of people like it's not. I think it's like a German thing. Or like Dutch, like they climb barefoot a lot, and like these like weird dihedrals, and they have these little like leather things they put on their feet to protect them from like getting scrubbed up.
That's wild.
Well, you know, using your bare feet, you wind up using muscles and developing your feet, and they become much stronger.
Oh, absolutely.
But when you're roughing it, it might also
Yeah, I
could
definitely
hurt
like
your
footwear.
skin. You know, like
I'm sure. I'm sure it took quite a getting used to.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I have a friend, he barely ever wears shoes, and I'll go on hikes with him, and he'll just kick off his little slippers. We go on the hike. I'm like, dude, but he's fine. He's like,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh man.
It's good for your feet.
yeah.
If you can get them strong enough, like
Well, wouldn't real true traditionalists be like, and they're wearing a t-shirt? Like, come on, that's
yeah.
they're wearing clothes at all. That's just not how humans are supposed to climb rocks.
Get out of here.
Aesthetically,
That's
the
wild,
animals need to be naked.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. You see that dude who soloed Dopey Dog naked?
Yeah. I literally just watched that video like 24 hours ago.
What video?
It's this guy. He works on he changes light bulbs out on like big cell phone towers and shit like that. And so he travels all around the country, and he has trouble finding climbing partners. So he ends up just like free soloing a bunch of stuff.
So he winds up doing what?
He ends up free soloing, which is where you climb without any protection whatsoever. And he climbed this like really classic route at in Limbo Gorge in Short Off Mountain called Dopey Duck, completely naked.
Oh yeah.
Without shoes or chalk.
No shoes, no chalk. All he was wearing was a hat. And it's
That's
like
great.
butt ass naked, like